welcome to another airport with a road in the middle of the apron. Random America again, and this one is KCIC Chico Muni. And we've got a new plane, the Blackburn Beverley, which was posted as a freeware thing at the Org Forum recently. Big, old, ugly. Yeah, I like it. That's nice. Interior, that's really good too for a freeware thing. Very good. Best part of it is the author has presented it as almost a beta work in progress type of thing, so therefore it's likely to get even better. They did say some things don't work properly yet, but it seems like there's enough to go and hand fly it and see what it's like. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's just ignore the road, as that's not supposed to be there anyway. So let's go and take it for a flight. Flaps do. Is anything moving? Stop and right. That's okay. 2 stages. We'll go for the middle one. See what happens. Quite liking the noises it's making. Yeah, the engine sounds, well, 4 engines actually, isn't it? That's, deep, dirty roar to it, and yeah, that's nice, like that. Don't know if this is one of these things that's going to take forever to get into the air, but I'm guessing it might fly quite easily at fairly low speed. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, because this is my first ever flight in this, by the way. So 100 knots. We'll try and rotate and see what happens. Okay, that got into the air very easily. Yeah, I'm sure we could have got up at a lower speed by the way that lifted off. Right, don't have landing gear, do we? Nope, that looks fixed, which is fine. Put our flaps up though, and let's see how we go. First impressions, big lumbering thing to handle, which is kind of a plus point. Looks nice enough, sounds nice enough. I'm impressed so far. So Paralympics have started, and I'll certainly be watching a bit of that over the next few days. Obviously some of these are modified versions of sports which have appeared in the main Olympics. That sounds a little bit wrong as those words left my mouth. Main Olympics. Yeah, the para in Paralympics does stand for parallel, therefore running alongside, equal to just the Olympics. Should we call it that instead? Probably better, isn't it? Olympics and Paralympics. Yeah, not trying to be politically correct or anything like that. Couldn't give a fuck about those kind of things, really. It's just sometimes things don't sit quite as comfortably as I would like them to within my own personal moral compass. That was one of them as I said it out loud. Anyway, what I was getting to is some of the things are unique to the Paralympics. They're often the ones that are most interesting to me. wheelchair rugby, for instance, saw some of that today, and whilst it shares a name and it's called rugby, the rules, the way you play it's a totally different sport, really. And also nice today as Great Britain beat Australia, and I think I do have one or two Aussie viewers occasionally, so yeah, then the stuff which is completely unique in the name as well as the activity. Watched a bit of something called goal ball. Okay, I'll be honest, I did get bored with that after 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I'll never watch it again, but it's still nice that it's something different, and I had the opportunity to decide that it was rubbish. But never mind, we're all allowed our own personal preferences. Now the other one I watched today is called Boccia. I think that's how you pronounce it. Boccia. Now, to be fair, I already knew about this one, and as I've seen it in previous Paralympics. I do remember the first time I saw it. That first 30 seconds or so, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe not. This looks like it might be a bit dull. Then half an hour later, I'm still sat there totally enthralled by it, and got the chance to watch some again today, and for what is in reality a very slow event where nothing is really happening, I just find it really fascinating to watch. Yeah, if you've never heard of it, have a look. You never know, you might like it too. Although seeing various events, my mind did wander off into some weird corners of my head again. Now, for the Paralympics, there are classifications of how disabled the competitors are, and that's great, as people of similar abilities are competing against each other. So there's not just one table tennis event, for instance. There are a few of them for the different disability categories. And in other sports, like the wheelchair rugby, they do this where there's multiple people involved. I think you're allowed 8 points worth of players on the pitch at any one time in the wheelchair rugby. So if you have 2 players who are both rated as 3, if you wanted to bring on your 4 rated player, then you would need to sub off both of the 3s and bring on a 2 at the same time, so the maximum numbers for the whole team still add up the same. A nice bit of extra tactics to go with the team, really, which is interesting little extra. So yeah, I was thinking back to the Olympic idea of dragging a few random members of the audience out to compete in various events, like that 9th lane in the 100 metre sprint final, just to show how much better actual athletes are compared to normal people. And this is sort of the same thing, but different, and includes a classification system for the added random member of the public, but this time not based on ability, but their level of interest. And I'm just thinking this could be quite intriguing. 2 people playing badminton who don't really want to be there, and one of them doesn't even know all of the rules. Or actually, no, not sure if that works, does it? Individual sports, not so much. You'd have to stick those people in team sports. That would be better. Yeah, picturing wheelchair basketball, for instance, with a random member of the public who's only got a rating of 1, and for fuck's sake, John, you've just scored in the wrong net. Yeah, actually, that's another thing that's just entered my head now. Football, you can score an own goal. Is there such a thing as an own goal in basketball, with able-bodied or Paralympic version? But back to the idea. Yeah, it might be onto something here. Yeah, I'm thinking team sports, whether it's Olympics, Paralympics or whatever. If your team reaches the final in something, cup competition, grand final in playoffs of whatever it may be, you have to field a player who doesn't know what he's doing, and the rest of the team have to try and teach him the rules as they go along. So I'm thinking, handball. I know it exists, never really seen much of it, don't know what's going on to any large degree. So, okay, I'm out there on the court thinking, let's find out what happens if I tackle this guy with the ball, full rugby, prop forward style, bit high as well, would probably get me 10 minutes in the sin bin if I was playing rugby. Totally no idea if the ref is blowing the whistle for that in handball. That could liven things up in quite dramatic ways. Although something I have thought of before, going off on a slight tangent here, if I was genuinely talented in something and did win a gold medal, not sure if this is still in force for the Paralympics, but there was a bell you may well have seen in the athletic stadium of the Olympics, where the winners of the events rang the bell. And in case you didn't know, the idea was all the gold medal winners ring the bell, and then that same bell is going to be in the restored Notre Dame Cathedral. Now, when it came down to it and I'm standing there in front of it with live TV cameras and numerous press photographers looking at me, I'm sure I wouldn't do this if I won a medal. But there is that weird corner of my mind again. The whole meaning, the winner bell ringing, totally gone, totally forgotten about. The history of it, the whole point of the bell, completely obliterated. And guided tours of Notre Dame, even in 100 years from now, the guide would pause, point upwards and say, and yeah, that's the bell that British bloke wiped his cock on live TV. Anyway, flying a plane, aren't we? And I've quite like this so far. I'm pretty sure I'll be keeping it and taking it out for another trip, assuming I can land it. Yeah, the big one about this is going to be I generally fly much smaller GA aircraft, so you get used to what the terrain around you looks like as you're coming into land. In this thing, the cockpit is significantly higher off the ground, so I do need to keep that in mind and not fly it into the floor thinking I'm still 20 foot up in the air. Oh well, actually that was quite interesting today, by the way, talking about big planes. Just a little practice exercise. My local airfield, Birmingham, had an Air Force C-17 do 3 touch and goes here today. Not something you see every day, or hear every day actually, as I do live fairly close and not far off the centre line either, so I both saw it and heard it as it was climbing past my house. Pretty cool actually. Right, come on, remember how high we are. Down okay, not reverses, not sure if we've got any, but they don't really seem to be doing a lot, but never mind. With air, well, apart from steering off the runway, well, that went reasonably well, I think. Let's have another look. Yeah, I'll be honest, I think there was a little bit of fly it into the ground going on there, but well, fly it into the ground reasonably softly, so yeah, for a first time ever, that wasn't too bad. Let's go and find somewhere to park, shall we? Looks like an apron over there. That'll do. Perhaps not the most interesting of airfields either, this one, is it? Great. Replay glitch strikes again. Yeah, sometimes replays work fine, sometimes they put you back in strange positions and you've seen us bounced into the air when you go back to explain, and sometimes it does this too. Operates perfectly normally for 5 or 10 seconds and then explain jams up and crashes. Brilliant. Yeah, well that's about it then. I'll see you next time. Bye.